I dubbed the original the Hyundai Slowster because of its uninspired performance. On this edition of Test Drive, the Veloster N. According to Hyundai, the front-drive Veloster N uses technology derived from its motorsport division to deliver a race-inspired thrill on everyday drive. Now that's pretty obvious. What's not so obvious is what the N actually stands for. The fact it was extensively tested at a famous racetrack means that the Veloster Nürburgring, well, it would give it a pretty credible ring. Beyond the pumped-up powertrain, the N takes loud to heart. From its baby blue paint with red accents to the rear spoiler and twin exhaust pipes, it does not hide in a crowd. Now, while the cabin of this Veloster N is very driver-oriented, all the controls are in the right place, the seats are very comfortable, and you've got access to Apple CarPlay and Android Auto, there are two pretty big issues. First of all, the plastics are hard. Very hard. And secondly, if you want any safety equipment, cross this car off your list because you can't even get blind spot monitoring as an option. What makes the biggest difference to the manner in which the Veloster N feels is the 2-litre turbocharged 4 that's been shoehorned under the hood. In this case, it makes 275 horsepower and, more importantly, 260 pound-feet of torque at 1,450 RPM. At a little over 750 RPM off idle, peak torque arrives early, and it does so without turbo lag. The result is a responsive workhorse that's always willing to pounce whenever the gas pedal is prodded. Now this little Veloster N really is deceptively quick. It'll get you to 100k in 5.6 seconds, but that's not what impresses. It's when you run through the gears, second, third and fourth in particular. It comes to a roaring boil and piles the speed on in a hurry. The only gearbox available is a 6-speed manual. It has short throws, close ratios and a light clutch that bites in the right place. The combination means it's easy to row at the speeds required when you're putting the boots to it. There is a Rev Matching feature that blips the gas on a downshift, which means there's less chance of a missed shift. The annoyance is the Rev Matching feature has to be turned on every time the engine is started. What's wrong with a set and forget position? Any notion that this back seat is for real people is put to bed the instant you get back here. There's limited legroom and virtually no headroom. This is where you put your briefcase. Or better yet, fold the seats down and use the cargo capacity. Now there is 565 litres with the seats up. However, given the tight back seat, I'd fold the seats down and leave them down and enjoy the 1,260 litres of cargo space. The Veloster N is nimble and the front end has got lots of bite, so it turns in quickly and with authority. The adaptive damping then does a good job of keeping things flat, and the steering changes according to the drive mode selected. There are 5 modes. They adjust everything including steering effort, throttle response, damper firmness, rev matching, exhaust note, stability control and the electronic limited slip differential. Comfort is fine for the city. N is too aggressive because of its rock-hard suspension and stiff steering. The saving grace is the N custom mode. It allows the driver to pick the best of each facet and store them. Now simply punch the N button to highlight the custom setting, and away you go. The Veloster N finally gives this car the power and handling it has cried out for from day one. It also comes in at a sharper price point than most of its competitors, but that sharper price brings issues, namely the lack of safety equipment,